Hey YouTube, hey, it's me, Turbles Celbor, live streaming once again on your favorite platform, Hard Limit. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's because you're watching the video I make that isn't the live stream to share with all the people. So this is part 2 of our Woke Belgium playthrough in Victoria 3. So let's go ahead and get to work on it, shall we? If you're watching this live, remember, because it's on Hard Limit, which is an instance of PeerTube, there's going to be a 30-second delay. I'll do my best to answer, but you know, there ain't a lot of people on PeerTube, so it's basically like recording alone. So let's go ahead and go. So last time we played, right, we got the good version of the Treaty of London. We got like most of the shit I wanted to get. And so now what we got to do is do the most horrifying thing of all, which is try to not choke the early game after getting what we want. So the economy is doing pretty good overall. There's some goods that could stand to be cheaper, but we can fix those by building more levels. The economy is also like, honestly, I'm overspending like crazy. I don't have much going on, and I'm still producing a positive balance. We're about to have census suffrage. Oh, please, dear God, I need census suffrage. We got to break the power of the landholding class. All right. So one of the things we got to be thinking about as we go into the late, early middle game is we're going to need to ditch the liberals soon. Because the liberals will, after the liberals defeat monarchy, they're going to be a real impediment to progress. And you may think, but wait, Turbles, I'm a liberal. How would I not be how am I not an improvement on progress? And I'm going to ask you one thing, which is, yeah, you're real good on that human rights track record, but how do you feel about worker rights, and specifically the rights of the proletariat against the parasitic bourgeois class? And like most liberals, probably not going to answer that in the way that the communists would like. So let's go ahead. We're going to bolster the radical movement to kick out the monarchy, but then we're really going to have to pivot to get the communists in if we want to have a egalitarian society. Spurred by revolutionary sentiments spreading across Europe, the radical movement is becoming widespread in Belgium. Whether we support or oppose them, this heralds a time of great change and reaction. Yes, this is very true. So, the people of the Belgian nation have a right to rule themselves, free from the clutches of kings and aristocrats who hoard hereditary power. We've made our demands clear. They will be met, or we shall take to the streets. We will win our freedom with the blood of martyrs if we have to. Oh yeah, baby. Springtime of the peoples, more radicals, cultural minority movement, pop attraction. I do not, let's see, support the conservative establishment. Fuck no. You know what we gotta do? Hippolyte what are these names, man? Is that a Flemish name? Alright, I'm gonna be level with you. As someone who speaks English and a smattering of German, Flemish just sounds, it doesn't sound wrong to me, but it sounds like somebody, like I've been hit on the head when I read it. So it just is really weird to me. Alright, so this person, petty bourgeois, huh? Alright, let's support the radical movement. Okay, so this is going to be the tricky part, because we really want the rural folk, the armed forces, and the labor movement to ally together to form an unstoppable coalition. The issue is almost certainly going to be beating out the goddamn liberals, because they're going to grab all the people with money. And they're going to be like, well, we can't do redistribution. That would be bad and oppressive for some reason. Like, it's okay to exploit the lower class. Definitely not cool to, like, help them out or let them keep more of the work that they do. I say that knowing totally well that this is my internal colony that I'm not doing diddly shit to help. Oh, they don't have that high unemployment. Just the standard of living is in the tank. It's at 9.9. Oh, thank God we got it. All right, so there we go. Literate men of a particular status are given the vote. So this basically means I think the only people who are allowed to vote. What is it? Who can vote? We can get women's suffrage. Can we do women's suffrage right now? No fucking way. No, we can't. We have to invent feminism first. Yes, we have to invent feminism. Remember that. You got to do it. All right, so let's see. We got census suffrage. We got freedom of conscience. We got no home affairs. We can't yet ditch the monarchy. We're going to need one more election cycle to do that. So let's go ahead and implement some form of social security. So for those of you who don't know what poor laws are, Oh, hey, did we get freedom, equality, and brotherhood? Oh my goodness. The intelligentsia under the leadership of Nicolas de Harscamp, I actually think this is a real person, has ushered in an era of liberal politics that promises a freer society where all citizens have a part in the political process, but not in the economy, because we don't want to have that. You will find many ideologues who claim to represent the will of the people, but who silence its voice when it cries out in opposition to their politics. Not we. We will remove the people's shackles one by one until they are free to the yoke of the past. Only then can we see the will of the people truly is and let it shape the future. And they're like, hey, we'd like to have nicer jobs, and I guarantee you, the intelligentsia is going to resist labor protections. All right, Harskamp is a fearless visionary. Other political leaders would do wise to follow this trend. Freedom of trade, freedom of thought. Perhaps a voice of reason is needed. I don't want to boost the liberals too much. Let's change his ideology to radical. That'll help. Because we really need someone who's like a real firebrand who's going to want to fucking destroy the monarchy. Because the monarchy is going to be holding us back here pretty quick. And you say, oh, holding you back, but in what way? And the answer will almost certainly be the monarchy will resist pretty much every single reform I do from here on out, because it will weaken the power of the monarchy and centralize it in the hands of women, which is, of course, unacceptable. Error-saving game. Why are we saving this to cloud? Oh my god. Show invalid save games. Delete? Can I just like... Here, wait just a sec. I love doing this on live stream. Oh my god. Really? Delete. Uh-oh. There we go. Delete. Oh my goodness. Are we gonna have to do this for every single one? 14 weeks ago? God. 3 months ago. Y'all seeing the games I've been playing is Serbia and Morocco and the United Netherlands. Don't look at that. I definitely haven't played this game before trying to do a communist Belgium. Definitely haven't. Okay. That should help. That should free up some save space. Alright. So our authority's a bit low, which means it's going to slow it. So for those who don't know, poor laws are basically one way of approaching poverty, which is essentially to treat it as criminality, but also like give people places to go. So like if you've ever like read Charles Dickens, you know about the workhouses. Workhouses were a way to manage the urban poor by basically giving them some way to plug into the economy. The only thing is it was very patriarchal and patronizing and also didn't really help people get out of poverty. It was just a way to kind of exploit their labor. But it's arguably better than letting people die in the street like animals. So, admittedly, the poor laws, yeah, it'll be what they are. Alright, so we got Glassworks finally. Yeah, we're building out the military situation here because we want to increase our, power projection. What is the most expensive good right now? Because we're at a low enough deficit, I'm pretty sure goods cost mitigation will help. I'm pretty sure wood and iron are super expensive. So 18.5k, almost all of it spent on iron and wood. Okay, so before we build up the military, let's look at building up iron and wood reserves. So the iron situation, we have 7 mines, 1's in the pipe, can only be built in Wallonia. There are over 20k of peasants and enough qualifications to fill the job. So let's go ahead and add like a few more levels. Is it Wallonia or Wallonia? Because I keep saying that and I realize it's Walloons. Hello. Let's see. I don't know why I'm building a furniture factory. I think the private sector fixed that. So let's go ahead and do some wood building, I guess. This one's like maxed out. Yeah, sure. Give Flanders some extra wood. So here's what we'll do is we'll move all those up. I like being on all 3 pages. That's definitely really cool. So, oh my god, it's going to be like a year and a half before we've got these things built. But do we got? An influential faction within the intelligentsia has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of poor laws. Themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. Oh yeah, how could you all stand idly by and watch the world pass before you eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. You know what? Yeah, let's downgrade the intelligentsia a bit. I don't know. The problem is most power currently, I believe, is concentrated. All the clout is in the industrialists, which isn't where I want it to be. The trouble is, I gotta flip the military. I need a... What are our generals' politics? Traditionalist. I can't fire him because that would be very bad. Radical. Traditionalist. So if I dismissed this person. Retire. If relieved of command, Louis Evane will lose their role as general and cease to affect the clout of the Catholic Church through their commander rank. Okay. So the problem is the army has a lot of stuff. Thing is, I'm not really worried about them. The army writ large, though, I'm afraid has a very... Hell, he's moderate. Our navy isn't very powerful. That's like disliked. He was bigoted. Oh shit. I hate it when you meet a Flemish person who's racist against Belgians or Walloons. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the internal racial politics of Belgium beyond the blackface shit. But that's just kind of a white people thing. All right. 2.4 million. Yeah, everybody's struggling over here for sure. We have 100% world market access though. 10% of the population are starving. Why? How bad is it in here? Let's look at let's go to the market. Let's look at food security. Oof, not good. Actually quite bad. Oh, because there's a groceries shortage. That's why. We got to lower the price of groceries, and there's a meat shortage. Okay, well this is good because we need more meats. Who's to say that private industry can't fill this gap? Actually, wait, private industry is trying to fill some of these gaps. We'll just do one iron mine instead of two, because they're building a second one. And they're building them all in the same spot, so there's no reason to duplicate effort. Monument to the king. A statue of King Leopold of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha has been commissioned. It has been suggested that it be displayed proudly in Wallonia. Tactful is how you would describe the look on the face of the statue when it smiles down on you. Eyes that flicker in the opposite direction of the sun. Though maybe you're just imagining it. A monument worthy of the king. Or I could hurt my standing with the Catholic Church. Perhaps not everyone wishes to be reminded of the king. Alright, the art of doing nothing. The previously opposing poor laws, Victor Oh my god. Everybody's gonna love hearing me butcher these damn names. Has considered the industrialist political position, instead offers support. It's probably like Benet or something like that. But God, if I know how to pronounce any of this shit. I didn't take no French. Canadian government, when I said that I don't understand French good, that was because it was the truth. While speaking with constituents on matters of law, one must first master the art of appearing to do nothing. While you do everything behind with whispers and masked men? Indubitably. Let's see. Who the heck is this guy? Is he authoritarian? He's a jingoist. Fuck him. Alright. Actually, I may need some jingoists. We'll welcome their support. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm not, this run, jingoism isn't necessarily opposed to my social goals here, but we'll see. Can't believe there's a fucking meat shortage. Man. Where can we build livestock ranches? There's one being built in the Belgian Galerie. And of course you gotta have some meat zones in Flanders. So let's just drop another 5 in there, I think. I know 10% of my population is in mild starvation, but let's let the free market deal with it. I'm too busy building up the military. Mostly to try and reduce the cost of money, or the cost of building. See, we're already reducing the cost of iron. I don't know why. I think my economy just improved enough. What treaties? Oh, we have money transfer from the UK. That's right. Yeah, this should really help lower construction costs. Lowering the cost of iron. Oh, thank goodness, the Radical Party. All right, so let's take a look. What do we got? We got, well, let's wait until, okay, so we've got the Radical Party, which consists, oh my god, oh, fuck yeah, dude, I can't believe it, the military joined. Okay, so it consists of the petty bourgeois, the trade unions, and the armed forces. The Catholic Party consists of the landowners in the Catholic Church. The Liberal Party consists of the intelligentsia, and the Free Trade Party consists of the industrialists. So what I'm hoping to see is the Radical Party just totally sweep the election. So we got to do it. Political movements. I'm not bolstering any because I really can't. My authority's maxed out because I'm spending it all on companies. Which is nuts, because John Cockerill Society, you've got a giant portfolio, and you're wasting it. What's their level, actually, out of curiosity? Overview, company headquarters. Statistics. Wow, they've been all over the place. They've been generally growing, though. They continue to grow, which is good. I should probably sell them some shit. That might help. Now, this is good. So the reason I'm building up somebody now is because I am going to greatly increase the size of my military. Textile mills have increased their throughput. That's excellent. Can't believe Belgian fabrics worked out. Our great nation, seeking to turn the tide of nationalism to favor of the Liberal Party, Victor B has held a patriotic speech in one of Brussels' parks. Nationalism is often assumed an unearned superiority of one's place of birth. Is the often assumed and unearned superiority of one's place of birth. It is easily mistaken for something approaching the lines of patriotism, but a sharp eye can spot the difference. A sharper mind knows how to use it as leverage. Don't want to increase the Liberal Party. Cease this shameless pandering. Join the Radical Party. Fuck yeah, dude. We're gonna take out the monarchy, yo. Fuck yeah, dude. We're gonna, like... Turns out when you... One man, one vote. Like, the people don't like the king. It's gonna be great. Alright, so now we have rifles. There we go. This is gonna greatly improve our situation. What do we got? What is this? False democracy. Santiago Marinho, and that is the Enya, has issued a condemnation of the Belgian electoral system, endorsing abstention from the voting and what he calls a sham to placate the people. In dictatorship of the reactionary, of the rich and powerful, obscured from view of the people by a facade of democracy, the best thing one may do is demonstrate the futility of such a guise, so that the people may be spurred into action regardless of concession. I would argue... oh man, I like how everything is hurting the Radical Party, which is some bullshit. No, -5 political strength per vote? No, thank you. The government must know that we see through their systems. I actually kind of want to make the petty bourgeois more radical. So the government, what a peaceful anti-electoralism reduces our legitimacy, but reduces radical party momentum. Or, well, you know what? Fuck it. We'll ally ourselves to the Free Trade Party because there's plenty of economic reforms. Are we having a positivist rebellion? Positivism? What the fuck are you doing? What's their issue? Oh, they hate that we have census suffrage? Oh, okay. Fuck you too, guys. A presidential republic? A council republic is way more democratic. Let's just be real. Let's go ahead and crush this rebellion. It has one state and will be bringing no army people with it. Yeah, cool, dude. Like, you go ahead and revolt. We'll just, like, crush you. Unless someone else gets involved. I have a lot of, what can I do with the French Republic? The French-Belgium Treaty guaranteeing independence. What would I like to do with Westphalia? I have pretty good relations. They're guaranteeing my independence. They have a protective attitude. They're guaranteeing my independence. Really, the only person who doesn't like me right now is Russia, so let's go ahead and improve relations with Russia. Let's draft a treaty of friendship. You know what, Russia? I will host your power block embassy. Why wouldn't they accept this? Oh, it's just because they're suspicious? Why am I an untrustworthy country? That doesn't even make sense. It's because I'm a major power, that's why. Oh my god. This is the worst. This is the fucking worst when Russia be like, yeah, we don't like you. Well, let's improve our relations for a while and see how you feel. I'm also going to talk to Sweden. Oh, do we not share any interests? Country in the Swedish market. Okay, well, that's fine. I guess I'll improve relations with Spain. And Portugal. And I guess the United States. Do we not have any? Let me guess, we don't have any. We don't have any shared interests. Well, the good news is I think I have some declared interests. Let's not declare interest in South Africa and instead declare it in New England. I have an interest in what you're doing. Yeah, I don't care about this positivist rebellion. What the fuck? Normally, the positivists are a bunch of, like, pencil neck nerds who are like, maybe technocrats should run society. They're not. They're more fun. Positivists are more fun than libertarians because they libertarians know how to get high or whatever. But is it just the army? Wow. I can't believe it that the army is positivist. Their big thing is they're atheists, right? And they're like aggressively atheist. And I'm not atheist, but especially if you're coming from a theocratic society, I could definitely understand the motivation to do it, for sure. Especially in Europe at this point. Admiral Van Haverbeck has made public statements in support of the Radical Party, bringing into question the political neutrality of the military. It is my duty to defend the nation and its interests. Politics is as much a part of war as battles and logistics are. Oh, this is terrible precedent. I don't see the problem with doing my duty and doing what I can do to make sure those who are best fit to protect the nation end up being the ones in charge. If Joseph likes politics so much, he ought to get more involved. What is his... He's an admiral. What is his alignment? He's a moderate Flemish Catholic. He's a popular commander. He's aligned with the armed forces. I'm actually just going to boost the Radical Party, which definitely won't cause problems. I like how the positivists are like, no, we can't have voting, but we also need to abolish the monarchy. And it's like, yeah, you should just join the Radical Party, guys. I love this, like, oh, these angry rich people are going to rebel. Because, like, let's look at the demographics here. Like, who's supporting it? Let's see. Factors attracting pops to this movement. Highly urbanized state, high literacy. Capitalists, aristocrats, officers, academics, bureaucrats, clerks, engineers, and some servicemen. Okay. So, only 1.6% of laborers support. Their biggest support... Huh. I don't know why laborers would be hot for this shit, honestly, but we'll see. How's the election looking? It's looking like the Radical Party is going to win in a landslide, and I hope they do. Are we, like, going to do anything to suppress the positivist movement? No, we are not. Hey, America, can I be your friend? Yeah, America doesn't like me that much. We have pretty cordial relations with Russia, though. Oh, did we just have... Oh, did we not have an event? I'm surprised there wasn't a rebellion event. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if 0% of the army is going to go over, they'll be able to raise 1 division. Or whatever those units are. The radical movement is becoming popular, uncontrollable, and violent. Calls for revolution echo in the streets. Extreme measures may be necessary. Blind, ignorant fools. They want to be treated as equals, and they most certainly are not. It would be so much easier if they could just accept their place, but instead they cling to their useless pride, taking to the streets and to protest their obstinate cause. If they insist on using violence, we have no choice to respond in kind. Ah, fucking hate it. Tyranny is not the answer, or secret police will provide a discreet solution. I am very pro-radical movement, and I want the radical movement to do it. The prospect of workhouses, including religious instruction in their work, has allowed the proposal of poor laws to gain favor with the Catholic Church. What is the difference between the man who is pursued by poverty to his own destruction and the ascetic who pursues poverty for the betterment of his soul? The answer surely lies not in the nature of material poverty, but in the poverty of spirit. This is the form of poverty that the workhouses most desperately need to alleviate. Sure, why not? Moral principles can be instilled without the help of the Catholic Church, or I could fuck over the Jewish population to increase Catholics? No, thank you. Not gonna do that. The positivists are already mad enough at me as it is. It's freaking positivism. Their support is so little. They don't have it. There's a lot of radicals currently, but that's only because of our unequal society. An attempt on the life of the king has killed many, but spared our ruler. A complex device, itself damaged in the attack, is the only trace of the revolutionary left at the site of the attack. It's hard to say what happened. I heard a slow explosion, like ragged platoon fire. There was smoke and chaos all around. Oh my god. The people left and right were cut down where they stood, but I was untouched. I looked off towards the king, and there he was, suddenly a bloody void surrounding him. Okay. I fucking hate the king, so I might... Wait a minute. Wait, this was the positivists tried to assassinate the king, who the most popular political party that's slated to win the election also wants the king to abdicate. I fucking love this game. Alright, should we limit his public appearances? Or, this crime is obviously a fault of Santiago Marino. Lieutenant General who supports the radical movement. Look, man, he's... let's go ahead and just say he's become unpopular. Especially because if we look... What's his popularity like right now? It's just neutral. He was an experienced diplomat. That was about it. And he's not that old either, is he? How old is this fool? He's 53? That's not too bad. His son's only 9. Okay. Is it a son? I'm pretty sure it's a son. I think we do male preference primogeniture in this country. Yeah, this is a historical character. Yeah, this is a dude. I think this is the King Leopold, you know. The one that was all about chopping the hands off of Congolese people. That guy. Oh my god. Alright, so let's go ahead and sneak in over here. At last, free government reform. Let us reform the government. Behold, the radical party and the liberal... Can we just kick the liberals out? No, we can't. We can't not have the liberals. Fuck yeah, dude. Government's legitimate now. You know, you guys should back off the revolution. Wait, Great Britain withdrew from the York Agreement? Hey, Solidarity's been activated. What does that do? Yeah, improves the workforce ratio. No, this is good, though, because that means we're getting more people to work. There's a wood shortage. Transportation shortage causing wood shortage. Okay, do I need to expand? Okay, no, that's expanding soon, so there's nothing I can do to speed that up. We really should start building out the army. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go. Build and train. Can-do attitude. Soldiers are complaining they have no way to open their canned food. Sure, the food's a bit better, but what's the point if we can't get at it, eh? Some of the lads use rocks, others knives. The only reliable thing is how bloody annoying it is to eat. They'll figure it out, or we'll spend some money to develop a way. Well, the armed forces are in government, so we'll just do that. Do a promotion. The Catholic Church demanded promotion of Brigadier General Louis Yvain, touting his history of loyal and effective service. Sure. Yeah, the Catholic Church ain't too strong. And I gotta do something to reduce the number of radicals. They outnumber us like 4-1 here. Let's see. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Marino's face when the Lieutenant General learned of his imminent ascension. The rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. That's fine. Actually, let's look at the army really quick and see what our situation is. So we have this guy. He's a major general. He's boosting the politics situation. This guy's a traditionalist. We don't really care about him. He's 59. This guy's young. He's an agitator. He supports the radical movement. It's time to promote, my dude. You're gonna get to be a field marshal of the glorious kingdom of Belgium. That's what you gotta get to. Is this guy a historical character? I don't think he's historical. He's ambitious, he's reckless, and he's pious. That's so good. That's going to be good when we get into the fucking around, or after we get out of the fucking around stage and get to the finding out stage of the revolution. It's going to be good to have those connections, because there is going to be a backlash. Like we're seeing kind of the liberal side of it right now. Some intellectuals are warning that if the poor laws are not passed, increasing population of unproductive poor will become an unmaintainable burden on society. A growing poor population is an inevitability in a society which does not attempt to control it. Some measures may seem callous to the short-sighted, but if the poor are not discouraged from multiplying, we shall soon have more starving mouths. Now, this is so interesting because this game doesn't really shy away from like sometimes they just try doing internal slavery to their own population. And that's just like the 19th century for you. And it's really fucking gross, but it's also like you're going from letting people starve to death on the street to not starving to death on the street. So it's slow progress. I'm hoping by the start of the 20th century we'll have something better than a poorhouse here. Let's see. A firm hand is required to stave off disaster. Gets Malthusian arguments. Anti-Malthusian arguments. And then let's see. We must take time to make better arguments known. Belgium gets anti-Malthusian arguments during enactment of the next law, but it's going to make the upper strata hate me. And that's fine. I don't care, because we have census voting now, so they don't really have as much clout as they used to. Troops in the Belgian Gelre have reported more and more confrontation with belligerent mobs. Fighting will likely break out soon, even if nothing is ordered. There's only two ways to control this situation. Either pull the troops back or tell them to engage. The soldier shuffled nervously where he stood, shifting the weight of his gun back and forth as he stared at the crowd stirring far too close by. He thought he recognized some of those faces, or he would have if they weren't twisted at utter loathing of him in his uniform. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. What was he even doing? Why was he standing? Was he standing with the right people here? Yes, we have to stop the positivist revolution in order to have a communist revolution later. Our men are professionals. They convey discipline where they are. Belgian Gelre gets violent confrontations. Let's see, plus 25% state. Let's see, order withdrawal or violent confrontations. Violent confrontations, baby. What is the situation here? 36 people are starving in the entire state. It's just impoverished. And honestly, they have a better stand. What the fuck? This guy's dressed like a clown. Is that a traditional... Is that a Belgian outfit? It looks like a clown outfit to me. Oh my god. What is this outfit, dude? He's a shopkeeper. You got a living standard of 21. Damn. See, I guess I was expecting them to be dressed like this. I wasn't expecting the weird, like, sad clown outfit. That's very strange to me. I guess it's just a popular outfit for Catholic capitalists. I guess. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. Let's go ahead and continue. I guess we're gonna be doing some fighting. I think the real question is who's gonna join me. I don't think any of these other countries. Maybe France. What is France's country situation? They're the Second Republic. They're a presidential government. What's their domestic politics? It's a pretty conservative government. Bonapartist movement, which are pro-army authoritarians. The legitimist movement, which are pro-monarchy authoritarians. Who's the mostest relevant? The peasant movement. They don't really care about... They don't really care about positivism. My only concern is that they have their own positive movement. But I don't think it's going to be an issue, because everybody else is pretty religious, so we should be fine. The only worry is if somebody decides to join the positivist movement. Like, if another major power decides to help them. Okay, so we've just enhanced our trading situation. Mechanized workshop, maybe. Furniture manufacturers. Fractional distillation, glass, nitroglycerin. What's the military situation? Probably gonna need the shells. We have hydraulic cranes though, that's pretty cool. Actually, what's our society looking like? I don't really need to work on that because it'll happen on its own. Let's do shell guns. Unlock smooth bores. Okay. And then let's go ahead and go to the buildings tab and check out development. And let's go to the port, cargo port. There's a world trades, bulk trading. It'll increase the amount of merchant marine usage. Actually, take me to the Flanders port. Well, it's starting to make money again. I think long term this will help me, but I think I might have fucked myself in the short term because merchant marine ain't cheap. So that means we're gonna subsidize it. Hooray, we got poor laws. Minus 15 political strength with receiving welfare. Right, because you lose your right to vote when you go in the poorhouse. Getting tramps and hobos off our streets and into the workhouses is well worth the cost. Okay. So let's check institutions. I don't have the bureaucracy strength to do it. We need to get proportional taxation if we're going to do any of this shit. But we have no migration controls. I think we can abolish the monarchy. Let's do it. Parliamentary Republic. Oh my god, the positivist movement collapsed in on itself. Hooray, we won't have to fight the revolution. Instead, we just have a deficit for some reason. It's probably from all those soldiers I'm building up. Do we need to, like, create a navy? I mean, mostly I'm doing this to build out my army size, which should be fine overall, I think. Well, wait, let's check our production. So we do have a military shipyard, which we're subsidizing. So we could actually build out the navy, which we may need more than the army. So let's actually reduce the size of this to another 5. Let's add... Let's give them an artillery division. And then we'll recruit 4 more lancers as well. Yeah, just 5 more. Yeah, we can work this in. It'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and sell off my arms. Pretty sure those will get bought up pretty quick by the fabrics guys. Or, if you're really cool, right, you play this game a lot, you know, a fun little trick to make the AI recalculate the building levels and if they're valuable is by endlessly hitting privatize, and then it just recalculates it and spends its fucking money. Behold, it's gone. Wow, we've got like one level with some small-time farmers and then this giant fucking like fabrics company. Oof, oofa doofa. We've got lots of money and not a lot of money coming in. Where's the budget hole? Oh, you know what? It's welfare payments. Yeah, that'll do it. And subventions. We have subventions on steel. Let's check the market situation. Steel's relatively cheap here, right? We're exporting a lot of steel. We're the #3 producer of steel worldwide. But the Belgian market, the steel is expensive. So if we do no subventions... Uh-oh. Did this result in a revolution? Uh-oh. The royalist movement... Oh my god. Okay. So there are some royalists still. Plus 15. The entire navy and 11 units of the army would like to become royalist. So we're gonna have to... Oof. Let's look at our laws really quick. We have private schools going on still, so I can't get rid of promote social mobility. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. Is it really that big of a deal, guys? I'm not prepared to fight this one with the royalists because you also cut me off from all the arms supplies. In his agitation against the institution of the monarchy, Victor Barnier has made numerous comments that have been construed as lèse majesté. I don't know what that means. Supporters of the king have demanded his prosecution. As far as the matter of the king goes, the crowd held their breath, sensing that something fantastic was coming. I see no reason to pretend to respect somebody whose position is earned entirely by having blood more inbred than the rest of us. Were heaven to send someone who was worthy of the title ruler of Belgium, it would certainly not be someone whose veins are filled with water. Oh my goodness. We're doing it. The problem is, this is probably the best we're gonna get. How's the royalist movement doing? There's peasants in it. They're militant. We may need to improve society somewhat before we can have what we need. Because unfortunately, if this province succeeds in a war, I will lose even though I outnumber them. And the reason is because I would have to import all of my military goods, because all of the military goods production in Belgium is in this province. You know, this is the most annoying thing about pressing forward. If you do it too fast, people get pissed off about it. That's not to say you shouldn't do it, but you definitely sometimes got to be strategic. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cancel this law. And the reason is we're not there yet. We're not there yet. The army isn't radical enough. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to, well, we could restrict child labor. We need some kind of health system in place. Or we could... Don't want to enact a national militia. Dedicated police force. Could do guaranteed liberties. This actually would be very good at slowing the progress of revolution, so we will do guaranteed liberties. It's a very liberal thing to want, but it's also going to be very effective. It's very, very hard for most political movements to resist, especially when they're in the minority. I need Belgium to be stronger first. It's only been 10 years. Keep that in mind. It's only been 10 years. We're only 1/10 of the way through the game, so we just have to keep on rolling. Also, I guess it's raining down there. That's cool. I don't know if you've ever been in France, but I'm told it rains there sometimes. Oh, what's this? Oh, the town of Verdun. You know about the town of Verdun. Belgium does not have monarchy enacted. Will fail if... Let's see what happens. I would love... What happens if it times out? What happens when it times out? Here's the event the revolution vanquished if failed. Oh no. But the revolution can't be vanquished. Belgian meat production needs to be higher. Okay. I just saw one that's downsizing, didn't I? No, I didn't. If you see one that's downsizing, it's not good. Oh no, we're expanding. I'm gonna subsidize this. I'm not gonna subsidize this. Over a drink. An obscure meeting, Santiago Marino, and a proxy of the proxy of the Catholic Church rambled at length about the positives of guaranteed liberties. One was cognizant enough to take minutes. Well, that's a problem with the new law. If you don't remove those other supporting laws, someone can exploit those loopholes and escape its reach. Unless you cut the two laws about evasion without plausible doubt, then you have a crafty seal that catches those rogue actors. Commend them for their good work. Matters of governance are for government, not dens of sin. No. Let's go ahead and commend them for their good work, even if it does boost the Catholics. What do we got? The Belgian Reform Society has assisted with founding a national organization dedicated to uniting the Catholic traditionalist movement under a single leadership. No. It bears mentioning then, in the case that we succeed, what are we to do? The structure we are building may endure for generations. To allow it to dissolve would be a tragedy. We cannot depend on those who join to continue to bear the torch going forwards. Our camp contains many people, all with their own reasoning for lending their ears. Oh dear. We must not imply to them that we demand their compliance on any other matter. Harmless at worst, or let's go ahead. Send a firm reminder of our disapproval. I am not a big fan. The Anti-British League offers us an opportunity to acquire trade privileges from Russia. Their proposal, if accepted, is intended to counter British interests. I think we've read this one already. It was a veiled sort of aggression, one which could, in theory, appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who preferred to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly drive them towards a reckless confrontation response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight Great Britain to the last Russian, one minister remarked. The representative flushed. He had practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. We should pursue this, or it's not in our interest. We should pursue this. The article is trade privileges, huh? Well, let's talk to Russia. Let's draft a treaty. Trade privileges, minus 68. Investment block. Just, they don't care about any of this shit. They don't want it, man. They just don't care. Russia's like, we don't care. I wish I could take more actions. They would love it if I joined their power block. Oh man, that would be something if we joined that power block. What about Prussia? What do y'all think? So the only power block I think I could join would be... Oh man. So my other option is to look at conquering the rest of the Netherlands, which our big ground army is certainly going to allow. Hey, there we go. We got modern sewage. How will this help the economy? Belgian Fabrics is fully employed in Flanders. Oh man, we need improved rail cars. That's what we need. What's the situation with steel rail cars? Actually, we could... 9 years? Oh my god. Okay, that's not gonna work. 27 months. Public health insurance could be useful. Postal savings could be useful. Oh, but steel frame buildings calls to me. Mechanized workshops, that'll get on its own. I don't need to boost that. The problem is steel railway cars probably is going to be the most useful. Ugh, okay, we'll go with shells. Still need to get them shells. We should start, we're embargoing them. We could force them to have census suffrage. What's their diplomatic situation? They have a treaty with the Japanese shogunate to give them... Wait, I'm so confused. The Netherlands is transferring 30 liquor to the Japanese shogunate every week. In exchange, they get... Wow, that's a pretty good trade deal. They guarantee independence. However, they are also trading? I could probably get the US to undo it. Could we convince you to... I would like to power block embassy, if I'm honest. The USA loves this idea. They don't like that idea. I would like to give you investment rights in exchange. When does their treaty expire? Stop supporting independence. Dang. I would like all of the Netherlands to be one. They have a pretty belligerent attitude. Standard of living increased to 11. Dang. Okay, so let's go ahead and... Springtime of the Peoples is gonna end. What's precision tools? Guaranteed liberties is successfully passed to the drafting phase. We don't need to worry about this one. This one. This one's going to time out. I want to keep this lobby opportunity up. We just need more urban center buildings, and I think this is the only one with an urban center that's too low. Yeah, size 0 versus 8 and 9. So we need to increase urbanization. Actually, the military will pretty much do that, I think. We also need to increase government administration. As we get lower on the pole here with bureaucracy. Man, I really want our steel frame buildings so bad. That's going to really improve our construction throughput. What is this even? So it's like Manstruct. Where is the urban center? I guess that's it. Oh, you know what? We get like a little corner up in there. I would like the rest of this province, if I'm being honest. And if I could, Holland. You can keep Friesland. Is it Friesland? But I really want Holland, and I really want this one. Holland, especially because Amsterdam's a nice town and it's a very good port. Ooh, what do we got? Political migration. The rich and unstable political environment in Belgium has proven attractive to political exiles and stateless people have begun to congregate at the coffee houses in Brussels. Oh, Brussels, you flawed yet fiery jewel. Where else could one see 3 different demonstrations within a 5 minutes walk? They are welcome to join the Sea of Voices. This is getting bad. And we have guaranteed liberties coming. This is a historical character. Why, it was revealed that Barthélemy, the name I cannot pronounce, of the Catholic Church has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. The very fact that this sneaky bastard thought he could get away with such gross misuse of his power shows everything wrong with the leadership of the Catholic Church. Let's go just force him to step down. You know, if we could get some, like, good Catholic leaders, that would be nice. Who's this guy? What is he? He's a legitimist. Oh, yeah, not happening. Exile, dissident. Yeah, no thank you. Let's see what's available. Oh. We don't need a legitimist around here. Who's the current leader of the trade unions? Utopian. Oh, I love this. I love this ideology. It's gonna be so good. The Catholic Church only has theocrats. Well, fuck that shit. We're not having a theocracy around here. Not even the monarchy people are gonna be on that. A group representing those within the industrialists with an interest in tools trade has begun lobbying the government for action against the Netherlands, citing hostile trade practices. Oh, I am so down with this. They had been in and out of the foreign minister's office all morning. Men of wealth and status, all known to the ministry, all reciting the same complaints. Dutch trade war, implement the free movement of goods and seizure of unrealized gains. Just as he stood to flick the lock closed for the day, another knock rung out. The energy flowed out of him all at once, nearly driving him to fall onto the carpet. With a grimace, he forced himself to take another step forward and flung open the door. Yes, sir, if you would have a seat. I'm actually, it is only understandable. I'm actually super down with this new anti-Dutch lobby. We have an embargo going, but you know what? We can draft a treaty right now. And our treaty is, we demand trade privileges and investment rights from you. And trade privileges. What does this do? Yeah. The Netherlands will reject this treaty. Okay, that's good. That's good, yeah. Yeah, we got it. Send that to them. The Declaration of Luxembourg has been declined. Our proposed treaty has been declined by the Netherlands. Okay, so let's feel you out. If I were to go to war here, what's your military situation? So they're number 39. We have a much larger military than them. They have a power projection of 683. We, on the other hand, have a power projection of 1264. So we got them 2-1. And actually, if we go to the conscription center, let's just add this to our sitch here. We're gonna make one. There we go. So now, in theory, our military is what exactly? Yeah, 1264. So that's pretty good. We could take them. Yeah, I know they declined it. So now what I'm going to do is make sure that France feels good about me. I don't suppose you would be interested in letting me be in your power block. Oh, I would like to be in your power block. Okay, well, everybody's got a protective attitude towards me, except for Russia. Actually, no, Russia also has a protective attitude towards me. I want to see country attitude. Oh, that's just for me. Ah, whatever. Let's just look at what their diplomatic situation is. Belligerent. They're reputable, I'm reputable. They're trying to improve relations with Cape Colony. They're embargoing me, they're rivaling me. They have a dominion in the Dutch East Indies. They're funding the lobbies of Banjar, which, where the heck is that? It's a British it's on Borneo. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, just so you're aware, right? You got Borneo, right? In the modern world, I believe there are 3 countries on Borneo, and that would be Brunei, Malaysia, and Indonesia. I think if I'm not mistaken, Brunei is like this and part of this, and like Malaysia's like up here, and then Indonesia's on this side. So the thing is that at least at this time, you've got independent states in the center of Borneo. You've got like vassals of the Qing Empire on the eastern edge. You've got like vassals of the Dutch, and you've got the Dutch East Indies. It's just, there's a lot going on Borneo at the start of this game. It's also like one of the most mega diverse places on Earth. Fucking amazing. Alright, so let's see. Oh, guaranteed liberties, baby. Let's go. Radicals reduced. Alright, so let's look at the government situation. Laws and politics, guaranteed liberties, no health system, private schools. You know what we gotta do? Gotta go back to public schools. That's what we gotta do. This is gonna break the power of the bourgeois, though. Well, not break them, but it will definitely reduce their power. And then let's go ahead and fluff up the Navy while we're at it. Man, it's 1840. Is that all we got? Is that all we can recruit? Okay, we could recruit a couple of these. We're going to have a small Navy. Oof. Frame rate. Wood is expensive. Insufficient construction for the investment pool. Okay. That's not good, because I think we have a deficit. Mostly because of welfare payments. We're not overdoing it on subventions. Subsidies are okay. What is this 900? Oh, it's a can opener. When will that time out? Yeah, when? Okay, that's not helpful. Okay, so that's still no good. Government buildings, mostly just paper. And paper is not that expensive right now. There's no starvation because meat is cheaper. But we're having a shortage on almost everything. Or there's a slight shortfall. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is we're probably going to have to adjust the tax situation. So what's killing me right now is the welfare payments, because I don't have the tax base for that yet. I'm going to have proportional taxation to make that feasible. Opponents of liberal reforms are looking to spread their ideas to our neighboring countries. What we are, they will be, or this contagion must be contained. No, let him go. Let him go and spread the good news that we... Honestly, what have the radicals accomplished? Because the poor laws weren't them. That was the previous government. They just finished writing them. Yeah, they really haven't. All they did was suppress a positivist rebellion and not implement abolishing the monarchy. Frustrated with the likely legal process surrounding public schools, Hippolyte met Depin again. I can't even. Of the petty bourgeoisie has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. A few words in the right ears is all I'm asking for. Everything within the bounds of the law, of course, although I cannot guarantee our opponents in this matter will view such actions with much glee. Grant him permission or increase the enactment time. Grant him permission. We need this fast so we can free up what is a lot of government stuff that is currently being spent on trying to boost the literacy rate. This is pathetic, right? You see the literacy rate drop over time. That's pretty rare. I think I have the worst literacy rate in Europe. Do I? Do I have the worst literacy rate in Europe? Oh, lordy. 45-ish. Yeah, worse than France. Okay, so I'm basically like southern Germany. Okay, it's not the worst in Europe, but it's pretty bad. Oh my god, Warsaw. I wonder where the Russian Empire is. Newsflash, it's right there. God, I really do need to improve the literacy rate, though, because I'm not going to be able to sustain an advanced economy without a higher literacy rate. You need people to become, like, machinists and stuff, which requires literacy. Santiago Marino's attendance at a bourgeois fundraising banquet in Brussels has led to an uptick in funds promoting public schools. Hell yeah, baby. As the organizer at the end of the table stood to give a toast to the clear wisdom of reform, he could not help but think of how closely the sound of his fork in the glass represented a coin falling into a bank or spent cartridge hitting the ground. Nourishment for the body and the budget. Fuck yeah. Or vast sums of money flowing into politics, you say. So wait, this is just this but more. Fuck yeah. You know what? If we pass public schools with graft and backbiting, sure, at least as long as it helps the people. Oh, I have 2K in unrealized taxes. Where? Where are these unrealized taxes? Average uncollected taxes, 10%. Mostly in Wallonia and Flanders. Oh, you know what? I bet you our tax capacity has been overdone. Yep, right there. So it's 20% tax loss. That'll help the budget immensely. Plus, there's no harm in future-proofing this, because we're definitely gonna need this. Hello, frame rate drop. Wood is very expensive. We need to decrease the cost of wood. Man, private market, why aren't you fixing it? What, you're increasing the size of the port? That's not helpful. Ugh, let's look. We need to increase the construction pool. Iron mines. Ugh, fine. Okay, I guess I'll do it, because the dead hand of the market certainly isn't Alright, so we'll just add some more in Wallonia. Not much, just a little bit. Economy of scale, building level cap. Sewing, textile mills, mechanized looms, mechanized workshops. Interesting. Vacuum canning. Alright, so we've got that. We're still building shell guns. Let's go to the buildings tab. Let's go in, back to this. Let's go to the industrial urban buildings. And we've got improved furniture situation. This would increase productivity. Or no, decrease all of them, but reduce fabric increase. Or it would reduce the cost of some goods. I think overall the economy would be good. Wow, that made literally no fucking sense. I think by doing this, it'll decrease the cost of fabric relative to the amount of chairs that exist. And we need to increase the number of chairs. I've decided this. Mechanized looms, wow, very expensive, not good. Also very expensive, not good. Interesting. Why is it so expensive? It's like 6K less laborers. Yeah, whatever. That'll be an officially later. The international trend of radical thought and revolutionary sentiment is coming to an end. Perhaps it is too early for us to agree on whether our attempts to end it in success or failure. Y'all did fucking nothing yet. I would like to believe they have set in motion forces which will continue to advance our goals long after the fires of this era have gone out. The world is changing. Okay, so Springtime of the Peoples is gone. American Treaty of Friendship and Trade. I would like to negotiate. I will not give you investment rights. But I will give you... Can I, like, just owe you an obligation? Oh my god, you might actually take it. America really wants those investment rights. They'll do anything to get them. Okay, fine, America. I will sign... If you sign a defensive pact with me, I will give you investment rights. Oh my god, they signed it. Okay, well, okay, so we need to enable some protectionism here. Because I warn you now, the Americans are going to try to buy up my entire fucking economy. So how I'm going to do this is I am going to... man, I don't know how I'm going to do this, actually. I got to reduce the price of wood. America might try to pull a fast one on me here. Are we there yet with taxation capacity, or are we still not fully employed? Still not fully employed. Can we improve the situation? Can we see what do we got? Standardized there's literally no way to improve upon this. Other than, of course, getting rid of the clergy. That might help. I got rid of the clergy because I want them to not have political strength. Like, part of the game is like, anti-clericism is necessary, and I'm like, unfortunately, yes, if you want this to work. Yeah, general trading's fine. Let's just, everything is normal. Why are we still at minus 6.8? We still have a lot of unrealized taxes. Subsidies and welfare payments. Subsidies are going out. Oh, it's the trade center. That's why. I should not subsidize it. Wait, where's the subsidies? Fine, we'll go here. Is it... It's the port. I'm subsidizing the port, and I don't need to be doing that. I do want to subsidize the railway. What trade center am I subsidizing? think it's in here. Or not. Huh. Show me. This is the problem, is this game has so many menus. I can't fuck with welfare payments. Which trade center? Where? What do we got? 15 levels of trade center. Who's being subsidized? The Wallonia Trade Center is being subsidized. Yeah, I think that thing is probably too big. If you want peace, the armed forces suggest a more hardline foreign policy towards the Netherlands due to our poor relations. If half of what you're saying is true, I wouldn't want you anywhere near that border. It's true, I don't want to be near it either. But I don't think it is, she said, but I don't think it is. Mother, you've always had no trust in the Dutch. Why would you trust them to respect our borders? No one wants their son to do it because they know it's dangerous. That's exactly why we need to do it. Set aside polite formalities. They are the enemy. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Or we could be like, despite our mutual dislike, there's no need to escalate. No, we have to destroy the Dutch. Some members of the petty bourgeois have raised their concerns about the enactment of public schools since they believe it would affect employment and promote agitation among the lower classes. Everyone has their own place, right? I think we can all agree on that. If we teach these kids the same thing we're teaching our own children, then who's stopping them from wanting the same jobs? Cry, 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 bourgeois. And then who'd be doing what they ought to do? Educating for the sake of educating is nonsense, an idyllic utopia that would only lead to misery, empty factories, and lazy workers. They should consider it an act of charity, or everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves a chance. With the attitudes of the industrialists toward Great Britain going more apathetic, their leadership has decided to discuss reassessing the group's support for the Belgian-British Association. Oh man, they actually have new dialogue for each one of these. Dang. It was more difficult to get appointments at the foreign ministry these days. The initial interest that they had inspired had long since waned, the lobby's activities falling into Brussels' background noise. The industrialists were the first to lose interest, the representatives initially disheartened by the absence of news, and then no longer inclined to read the papers when they arrived. What reason do we have for care for happenings in London? Their younger members challenged. The elders did not know how to respond. It's time to change course. Let's see. Why change something that works? Oh, city of plenty. The most prominent members of Flanders high society have been organizing luxurious parties in the new and lavish urban buildings. Marble walls, shimmering stone, the noise of people coming and going brings the city back to life when we didn't even know it was dead. Tall buildings cover the sunset. Kids play with bricks. Smoke blends with the clouds. A distant bell announces the next train. Progress is coming. Let them celebrate, or the party will never end. Fuck yeah, the party will never end, baby. Hey, Dwight Butler's been sent into exile by the British Raj. Can I invite potential for one agitator? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's look here. We need to find somebody who's a Bonapartist. Oh, great. Don't need that. We need someone who is going to help counterweight the rapid progress here, but also give us progress in a different direction. So, abolitionist, a radical workers guy, universal suffrage, protected speech, presidential republic. Can we get like some Catholics? There's no exiled Catholics. Are there any exiled landowners? This guy's a moderate, but I'll join the reactionary movement. That's not what I want. No, neither of those guys are good. The liberal movement, huh? Dang. There's hardly anybody I like right now. Ugh. None of these people are great. This guy wants to reinstitute slavery. That's gross. Yeah, I'm gonna not invite any of these chuckle fucks to Belgium. Ugh. It's not that I don't mind the liberals out there, but I don't need liberals. I need more radicals. The teachers of our higher institutions of learning have offered to advise the government in the implementation of the new public schools. There are certainly differences between teaching children the fundamentals and the more advanced education offered by our universities. Nevertheless, as architects of the upper floors of this towering structure of knowledge, we believe the least we could do is provide some insight as how the foundation should be built. I really want their help, but we don't need it. Their research is more important. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, move us forward. We need public schools, and we need them now. Alright, and then, of course, the economy's gonna fucking crash here in a hot second. We're reducing the cost of wood. This should reduce the cost of construction material. Public schools. Alright, we got it. This is going to get very expensive very quickly. But at least we have it. Alright, so next thing we got to do, we either need a health system or we need to enact proportional taxation. We have a pretty good chance of doing proportional taxation, so we should do it now. We should do it now while the radicals are still in charge. Santiago Marinho has criticized numerous decisions made by the leadership of his own radical party, calling Hippolyte Meptbla, again, excessively cautious and unwilling to address critical issues. I often wonder, looking at the activities that we carry out, specifically those which are most crucial to expanding our pool of supporters, whether Medepenigan is authentically aware of or dedicated to their success. Our fundraising is generally acceptable. The coffers of the party are without complaint, and neither are our accountants. But such resources have yet to be mobilized in a way that benefits the common good. And so my thesis is this. What does Metapenigan intend, and how best to change his mind on the matter? Alright, so let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. We can increase the momentum of the radical party by embarrassed by association, or we can make it less bad. Well, let's go and do that, because I think we're having an election. I want the radicals to sweep. I want them to essentially be the government. The eyes of the electorate have turned toward the candidates that seek to acquire a position at the head of government. As the election approaches, the voters debate who will provide the best leadership for Belgium. I quite like Metapenigan. I'm just gonna do it, and I know someone's gonna complain about it. Misused one of the men at the bar. Mused one of the men at the bar. I couldn't say what it is I agree with him on, but I think he has a good head on his shoulders. His neighbor spoke up. Enough to look past the company he keeps? Why not? God knows you could say the same about any of us. Nobody's better to handle a fool than his friend. I'm so confused. I have no idea what's going on in this. Bad reading comprehension. That's on me. Increase this guy's popularity. Increase the liberals. You know what? I'm sorry, but we need the radicals to sweep it. We're gonna put our thumb on the scale here. A lot of pollution getting generated over there. Alright, so now we can lift all the edicts. Because now we have public schools, which means with this extra 250, we can try to either plug the budget hole, or we can improve politics in some way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do road maintenance, and then I'm going to encourage migration. Because if we look at Flanders, I believe it is eligible, is a high attraction. It is eligible as a mass migration target. Okay. Authorial intent. A minor scandal has buzzed around the Liberal Party as a piece of reformist fiction written by Victor in his youth has begun to circulate once more. While it's enthusiastically written, that is the work's only merit. The plague of superstition and dogma. Oh, was the end of Belgium? If so, why were the trains still running? How could they possibly have acquired the coal to fuel it? Your propensity to butcher your characters for cheap tragedy is nothing short of shameful. And to make matters worse, Worse, why would Victor not even pursue Estrid's affections when they have known each other for so long? Do you have no eye for redeeming romance? A tragic tale, but there is no reason to harass him. This is Victor's problem, not the party's. Yeah, fuck Victor. He's just a reformer. He's not nearly cool enough. Bye-bye, Liberal Party. You're almost as irrelevant as the Free Trade Party. Man, it's been so long since we've had such good elections in my country where someone would be winning 73% of the vote. Just doesn't happen no more. What do we got? Grassroots support for law. The political wills and desires of lower classes will always remain an opaque matter, but for whatever reason, support for proportional taxation is spread like wildfire. Wildfire! Across Belgium, spurred by charismatic speakers' lively debates on small-time social clubs. Oh, my goodness. They're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure does not hurt to have it either. So public enthusiasm expedites reform, and then we use this common ground to calm the masses. We need the Wallonians. So let's watch. Here we go. Oh, fuck yeah! There, yeah. We got some loyalty now. Look at that. Look at that. We could go into the overview. Now, for the first time in about a decade, the number of loyalists outnumber the number of radicals. Almost, not quite 2 to 1. We're not quite there yet. But if you look, Wallonia is now my most loyal hotbed. The ideas of the Radical Party have been raising interest throughout the country, leading to potential turmoil. Those who profess to favor freedom yet depreciate agitation are people who want crops without plowing the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the roar of its many waters. Oh, love it. +2 pops in Wallonia become radical. No, duh. We want the radicals. There we go. Hey, the economy recovered. No, it didn't. I lied. Actually, the economy's... I don't know where the United States of America has invested into expanding coal mines. Oh, great. It's going to be rough when we become communists. Alright, we got the shell gun now. So in the main artillery foundry, we're going to be doing smoothbore. Which, wow, these are cheap. Should be exporting these. Well, we're gonna need them anyway because we're gonna need guns. Okay, got it. Wait, what did I just click through? Sometimes it just hits me and I'm like, whoops. Just not thinking about it. Okay, so that was the election results that I missed. So, still a legitimate government. This is probably the most legitimate government. So the Liberal Party managed to hold on, but almost all the clout is in the Radical Party. Okay. So proportional taxation's well on its way. We're most of the way to urbanizing Belgium. We just need to urbanize here. Which, honestly, these military bases will help immensely. Alright, we should look at what are we going to improve upon. Triage is good. Do need that. But let's look at production. Our biggest issue is we need the steel works. We need steel framed buildings, but we're not there yet. I guess we'll work on nationalism. Yeah, especially if we're going to go to war against another nation state, we should probably know about nationalism. That's usually a good thing to know about when you're fighting a war of national liberation. Wait, no, didn't the Belgians fight a war of national liberation against the Dutch? By treating the wounded in regard to seriousness of their wounds and the likelihood of recovery, it is possible to make a much more effective emergency care system. It's true. So we know triage now. Let's take a look at mobilization. We're gonna need... yeah, just regular supplies. Let's do the supplement situation. Opium, liquor, tobacco. Let's do liquor. We'll do rail transport, and we'll have medical. This is going to be very expensive when we go to war. Oh man, and war is expensive in this game. You wouldn't believe how expensive war is. Hey, Mourinho died. That should, ooh, dang, Mourinho was the good one. Well, we're expanding the Navy, so this should work out just fine. Because there is a general, or an admiral in the Navy who's a member of the trade unions. For some reason. Yeah, you know, those 1840s Belgian trade unions. Be over here trying to implement proportional taxation and votes for women. God, if I could just get universal suffrage. In the midst of the debate surrounding proportional taxation, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the armed forces, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Proportional taxation will be on everyone's lips now. This sure puts the armed forces in a good light. Let us ensure it gets a wider international audience. So that would give me plus 20 prestige, which would be helpful. But I'm actually going to use this to increase the likelihood because we need this to pass in order for my future budget to work. Graduated taxation being the bestest for an egalitarian society, but we may not get there because that one's hard to pass. Nationalism unlocked is a key question in the hearts of the identity of a person. In times past, people said they're from a province, a town, or even a family as an expression of identity. New ideas have developed that transcends those notions, and instead, oh wow, I did read it right. Anyway, the important thing is we developed this and now we can have an ethno-state, which we're not going to do. We're not going to do an ethno-state, partly because it would be difficult. It's possible with Belgium to do it, but it would be hard. It would be far easier. Believe it or not, in playing this game, I have done a cruel, evil ethno-state. It's very, very easy to do an ethno-state with Venezuela because there's a triggered event from Colossus of the South that produces the Venezuelan identity, which is very easy to assimilate to. It's also very easy to do an ethno-state if you're like a tiny country like Serbia. And because Serbia, if you look at its population demographics, they are 100% Serbian. So it's very easy to do an ethno-state because everybody's already part of it. It's harder when you have, for example, one province that's overwhelmingly one identity, one province that's overwhelmingly the other identity. Like, they're united in their Catholicism, I guess. And then I got this one that's like all Dutch people. I don't know. Okay, so we got nationalism. I can't get quinine. I can't quite get quinine. Steel railway car, the water tube boiler. We're going to get that soon anyway. Let's go ahead and go to... No, we don't need breech loading artillery. We have the screw engine, but we don't have ironclads. We have empiricism. I'm assuming this increases my speed. Influence. Realism. Well, that'll be nice. We could do that. Let's do... I really want to get to steel frame buildings here. Let's go ahead and focus on pharmaceuticals, because I want to implement a health system that's better than just charity hospitals. Ideally, you just do public health insurance, because it by far produces the best outcome. But there are some advantages to not doing it, particularly like with a small country like Belgium. It could be pretty useful to use some of the other systems. Or if you're like ginormous, doing a private health system is usually much more achievable. I've played this game way too much. So we actually do have an art school. That's crazy. And it's actually profitable. That's also crazy. Upper strata have decided to donate generously to the poor. Many among them even advocate for the proportional taxation law, agreeing that it would be a fair means of redistributing wealth. I fucking love this. We have so much and they have so little. We are still wealthy even when we give generously. Are you really going to miss a few £1,000s? I think of how little money it means to you and how much it could mean to a starving mother and her children. Encourage charitable giving or leverage this in support of proportional taxation. Let's leverage this in support of proportional taxation. Mostly because we're not really having any trouble meeting the minimum expected. I'm sure there's members of the upper strata that are, but we're okay. Wow. Hello. Frame rate. Oh, because we're saving. There we go. Don't want America to control my arms industry. Those are all government-owned. America's least favorite thing to hear. Government-owned arms industry. Nationalized, if you will. Okay, so we need to... I really hope... Oh, man, we're at 66%. I really need this law to pass. If we're gonna be like a major world power, we're gonna need this law. Also, the Navy just doubled in size, I think. Yeah. Oof, that economy going bad. Construction goods are cheap. Goods for government buildings. Small arms are very expensive, as are ammunition. Well, let's check the small arms situation. Okay, this one's privately owned. What does the military actually need? So let's take a look. What is it? Where's the resource indication? Spending a lot on small arms. Good consumption for mobilization. We need fabrics. We can handle the fabrics. We could absorb the grain. We probably could absorb the engines. The really hard part is going to be absorbing this liquor cost. And then let's see. Small arms. Artillery, small arms. Okay, so we need way more small arms. So I think we should increase the size of this small arms factory. I think our munitions will be fine. What else? Because more than enough artillery capacity. Really what we need to do is we need to increase grain output, and then we need to increase food production. That's really what we gotta do. A well-acclaimed troupe of wandering artists has arrived at Flanders, followed by hundreds of requests about our generous government funding one of their concerts. Yeah, so we are from South Schleswig-Holstein, and we would like you to fund our lovely dancing troupe. We do many dances, yes. Most of them are dancing to the weed store. Let's see the lyrics. No, you wouldn't understand it. Only the saddest and deepest souls are able to dive into their hearts, wide open before us to the piano notes. Their songs talk about solitude, incomprehension, the lack of a serene place to retreat to. They truly capture the sorrows of a teenage soul. How would you understand that? Fund them for 5 years. They sound not so great. We are not doing that. Not during a budget crisis. The relatively lenient Belgian immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Oh, good. Recently, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to Belgium. Oh boy. What a guy. This is not going to go well. Eventually, he too will be Belgian. What is his deal? Is he a Bonapartist? Oh, of course he is. Fuck him. No, we're not going to let a Bonapartist in. Alright, let's check. We got to fill one of these agitator spots. There's one guy! None of these guys are good. I hate them. Okay. So basically, whatever it is we're consuming in terms of goods, we've got to double it. Where's the... I know it's around here, I'm just not seeing it. It's the master, like, this is what it's going to cost to keep it up. Alright, let's see. Building out a perceived common entity in the Netherlands, pro-British associations have become commonplace within the patriotically inclined Catholic Church. Catholics. The assembled gentlemen throughout thoughtfully nodded along with the words of the speaker. As long as the Netherlands remains a threat, no asset to be utilized against her remains unwelcome. But for every British effort undertaken at the expense of Amsterdam is one less effort they would have to undertake themselves. Encourage them. Great Britain's cause is ours. The Catholic Church joins the Belgian-British Association. Yeah. What's the sitch? Minus 500. Fuck yeah, dude. Look, we can't go to war unless proportional taxation is enacted. I'm just going to say this right now. How much we got left in the reserves? We've got 70k left in the reserves, so that's like not a lot. That's like 10 weeks. 1.6k in unrealized taxes where? Wallonia. And loyal Wallonia. Unrealized taxes. Okay, so let's see. We'll lower the arms industry situation, and I will up this one. Actually, you know what? No, we need to plug this budget hole as fast as possible. Oh hell yeah, baby! Uh-oh. Why is it less? Oh dear. Uh-oh. That should have been more, but I think it's because of my proportional taxation rate. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it that way. Everyone, we're doing normal taxes now. It's normal taxes. It's normal taxes. Everything's fine. Yeah, ammunition better not be expensive. I think we're one of the world's leading producers of ammunition, aren't we? We produce ammunition. Yeah, we're the number 4 producer of ammunition. In fact, I think the only reason we're not number 1 is because we don't have 2 of them. There we go. So I gotta build the budget back up. But at least now we'll have some naval superiority. What is the cause of my score here? Let me just get this tooltip locked, which is probably one of the most useful features of this game. Prestige. Country tier of kingdom, gross domestic product, army power projection, +3 from navy power projection. Time modifiers, +5 from technology. Yeah, so once we get our fully rousted navy, which is at 100%. We're still recruiting for the navy. It's going to take a while. Oh yeah, look at that. Slowly but surely. This is going to really help our power projection, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Starting to lose it. Wait, are we still missing out on unrealized taxes? Wait. Let's go back to the tax zone really quick. Yeah, it's fully employed. Okay, fine. Show me where there is it. Oh my goodness. There really is. Minus 18. So we need 2 here, and honestly, 2 there. If we're going to plug this budget hole, we're going to have to do it this way. Wow, I can't believe I didn't do that before. This game has so many easy ways to find problems, but you have to know that they're there. One of the things about playing Victoria 3 is that after many hours of play, I'm like, oh, let me try for this or whatever. But it definitely is like, it's just menu panic. So many freaking menus. Oh, what are we mad about? Oh, it's Paris. That's not me. I was like, what? Why are people mad? I've worked so hard to make a nice country for you. Alright, so now that we did proportional taxation and I messed with that, let's see if I can advance society somewhat. Can we do cultural nobody likes cultural exclusion. Oh, can we do universal suffrage? The radicals want it. Do we want dedicated police? No. Could end child labor. That would be nice. Could do wage subsidies, which is really good. Oh, man. We can't move forward to women in the workplace just yet. We still have right of assembly. Oofa doofa. We've got a much bigger army now, and the army is not particularly royalist. Let's go ahead and try and enact a parliamentary republic again. Let's see what happens. This is either going to go really good or really bad. Water tube boiler. Fuck yeah. This is going to really help. Children working in the furniture manufactories in Flanders have suffered injuries trying to operate the machinery used in production. That's not good. After examining the boy's hand, the doctor sat down, turned to the mother, and sighed deeply. Well, I'm afraid your son is never going to become a great musician, he said. But then again, perhaps that was never one of the more likely prospects. Oh, shit. Keep children off the factory floor, or the new industries will need all the employees they can get. No, keep them off the factory floor. All right, so this is really bad. There is a plug. Oh, I thought that was 0.75K. Okay, no, we're good. The subsidies, we don't have a lot going on in subsidies. It's military wages and military stuff that's going to kill us. So we're actually going to lower military wages considerably. We're just going to turn it back to normal. You don't want to go sub. But the reason I did that was because I've been basically overspending for the last, at this point, 15 years. Mostly because I wanted to try and boost the economy early, so I had a good starting base to work with. Members of the Belgian-British Association have discreetly dispatched one of their number to amplify their mission in Belgium's most widely read newspaper. The Belgian-British Association has calculated with utmost mastery the dissemination of materials sure to secure a foothold in both the political world and the public's imagination. With great satisfaction, a lobbyist comments, there is no denying that the number and reach of newspapers is ever expanding. This approach is sure to reach influential lawmakers in favor of our scheme. This sets a bad precedent. This is a genius. Let's just say it sets a bad precedent, because I don't need to reduce my legitimacy for the industrialists. Okay, so now that we have water tube boiler, first thing we need to do, rifling. Oh, we don't need the extra one, actually. We've got 2 in Flanders and Wallonia. So all we got to do is just up the shooting. Let's see. So we're going to go ahead and do water tube boiler here. Water tube boiler here, which is going to cause some problems in the economy initially, but it should stabilize. Ooh. Can't carte blanche do all the tooling workshops. No, because there's too many. Yeah, this one's not going to work. We have to wait for the economy to balance out. Consider mechanized looms. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how that affects the economy really quick. That's helping a little bit. We're still getting hammered on... Let's see, military wages, goods for military buildings, government wages, paper. We don't have much going on in the university, apparently. Paper is getting hella expensive. That's not good. Oh shit, yeah, we should probably build another paper. Yeah, we're gonna get stuck in a death spiral if we're not careful with this economy. Which of course is going to increase the cost of wood, which is going to be just an endless... another one sent into exile, huh? And let me guess, we're in the negative now. I only got 10k in gold reserves. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. This is good. I can handle this. This is the tricky part with the mid-game, because the economy has got to transition, but I don't know if I have the state capacity yet to actually have a productive economy. Without, of course, conquering over here. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So we got another fish thing. So we're still in credit mode. I don't want to up taxes to counterbalance, but I can lower... Actually, I have another way to raise money. Oh, we could do meat taxes. That's good, and... That one should work. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then what we do is I'm going to cheese it a little bit. This would be bad because this would increase people's anger. But if I do this, I guess, yeah, now I have minus 20. But now the budget is slightly balanced, and hopefully we can get out of this rut. Problem is I can't expand the construction sector further because although the investment pool desperately needs it, I can't sustain my half of the construction sector. It'll be easy. Yeah, so construction. So this is where we need investment rights with the country. So actually let's see if we can get investment rights. This is where joining the British Empire would be very useful because I could start doing economic imperialism. Oh, they have minus 98. I would like to draft a treaty. I would like investment rights. In exchange, you would also get investment rights, and I'd owe you money. Hooray! Now my guys have somewhere to send it. What? We got a royalist revolt now. Once again, in the wrong spot. God damn it. Well, unfortunately, I've run out of time, so I'm going to have to call it. But, you know, just like always, I'm going to go ahead and run this and Hope for the best. Wow, I'm really bad at ending these. Yeah, so just like always, remember, if you want to end the monarchy, you gotta get rid of the royalist movement first. Like, look, they're less powerful than they were before, but unfortunately, they're still really mad. Anyway. I don't know how to end any of these.